Hey, it's your friend Christiano, and welcome to the Queer Quest Podcast. Hey, loves, welcome to the Queer Quest Podcast. I'm Christiano Green, and today we're talking about something that might be one of the most important conversations for both queer folks and the people who love us. Now, we're going to be talking about how to support your LGBTQIA plus friends authentically. Notice the word authentically, because here's the thing. Queer people can spot fake allyship from a mile away. We've learned to read it. We've had to. We've seen the rainbow logos in June disappear in July. We've heard the I support you paired with the awkward silence when homophobia happens in the group chat. We've been hugged in private and avoided in public. And it's not just about intent, it's about impact. Now, if you get value out of today, which I trust that you will, then can you please do this episode and the podcast a huge favor and help boost it to others in the queer community by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, or reviewing us, as it's just more than you may know towards getting this episode in the hands of the people who truly need it most. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's start with the foundation of authentic support. Authentic support is more than a warm feeling in your chest or your queer friend. It's more than I love you no matter what. It's how you show up when it's uncomfortable. It's the little things you do when no one's watching. It's whether your allyship is conditional or constant. And I know some of you may be thinking, but I am supportive. I've told my friends that I accept them. And I'm here to lovingly say something to you. That's the starting line, nowhere near the finish. Why this matters more than you realize. For queer people, friendship isn't just friendship. It's actually a lifeline. Because sometimes family doesn't stay. Sometimes communities shut their doors. Sometimes safety means cutting off people who can't accept us. And in that void, friends become family. Your words become the difference between I can breathe here and I have to hide here. The way you support or don't leaves an imprint. It shapes how safe we feel in the world. It can even influence how we see ourselves. What authentic support is not. Let's clear this up right away. Support is not only showing up during Pride Month. It's not using queer friends as your not homophobic badge. It's not asking invasive questions just to satisfy curiosity. It's not loving the fun parts of queerness, but avoiding the hard conversations about rights and safety or even discrimination. Those things can actually deepen mistrust because they feel formative. Like you're here for the optics, not for the people, not for the person, not for us. What are the first steps to doing it right? If you want to support your LGBTQIA plus friends authentically, the first step is a self-check. I want you to ask yourself, am I showing up in ways that actually they want or they need? Do I actually treat my support as a one-time declaration or a long-term commitment? Am I already ready to act, not just talk when it matters? Are you ready to act? Are you ready to handle it instead of just speaking it when it truly matters most to those people? Because authentic support starts with deciding to be consistent, not just when it's easy, not just when it's trending, not just when it's Pride Month, but in the quiet, everyday moment. And in the moments when your voice could cost you comfort. Now, in this next part, we're going to get specific. We'll talk about the power of listening and why truly hearing your queer friends without making it about you might be one of the most radical things that you can do. Because support starts with understanding, and understanding starts with listening. I'll meet you there. If you've ever wondered, why am I still carrying pain that doesn't even feel like mine? You're not broken, you're brilliant. But brilliance gets buried under years of shame and silence and survival. And that's why I made this. I'm Christiano Green, a queer transformation coach and the founder of Queer Quest, I created a free queer healing guide to help LGBTQA plus souls begin the journey back to themselves. Inside, you'll discover the 3 core stages of queer healing, powerful journal prompts, and a roadmap to stop surviving and start thriving. This isn't some fluffy self-help PDF. It's the spark your soul has been waiting for. You deserve to heal, not just for your past, but for your future. Download the 3 guide now. And if no one ever told you this before, your healing is holy. And your queerness, it's your power. So grab your free guide now via the link in my bio or just comment below and I'll send it to you directly. Welcome back, loves. In that first part, we laid the groundwork, what authentic support is and what it isn't. Now I want to dig into the most underestimated, underpracticed, and yet most transformational form of allyship you can offer a queer friend. Listening without making it about you. What is this hard to some people to understand? We live in a culture where conversations are often treated like a relay race. Someone shares, you respond with the story from your life, and then it bounces back. It's not malicious, it's a habit. It's how many of us were taught to connect. But here's the thing. When your queer friend opens up about something deeply personal, they're coming out. A microaggression, dating struggles, family rejection. They're not handing you a conversational baton. They're handing you a piece of themselves. What's this emotional cost of story hijacking? When someone says, I know how you feel, and then immediately pivots to their own experience, it might come from a place of empathy, but it can really land as a dismissal. Because even if you felt something similar, there's actually a very big difference between relating and equating. Queer lives exist in a web of identity, history, and systemic forces that straight or cis people may never experience in the same way. So when our unique reality gets merged into a universal experience too quickly, it can feel like we've been erased from our own story. How can you practice real listening? Here's what helps. Hold space without rushing to respond. Let some silence breathe. Sometimes the most validating thing is not words, it's actually present. Ask clarifying questions, not invasive ones. So instead of something like, so what surgeries have you had? Try, how can I best support you right now? Mirror back the emotion, not the event. So if someone is sharing frustration, you can say, that sounds exhausting. I can hear how much it's affecting you. Save your own story for another time, unless they ask, or there's a real moment for it to be there. This isn't about you not being allowed to share. It's just about getting the right timing. Let their moment be theirs before adding yours. What this does for trust between you guys. So when a queer friend really feels truly heard, not analyzed, not compared, not overshadowed, something really shit. Walls will come down. Trust will deepen. They start to believe that you can hold their truth without judgment or competition. And in a world where so many queer people are told their experiences are too much or that they're overreacting, being heard without interruption becomes radical. Now, let's share a note on emotional labor because listening is so powerful. But don't confuse holding space with becoming their only safe space. If you're the one that they come to for everything, you might start to burn out, or you might accidentally take on a rescuer role. Part of authentic support is actually making sure that your queer friends do have multiple points of connection, whether that's community, whether that's coaching, whether that's therapy, whether that's support groups, not just you. So in this next part, we're going to talk about respecting identity without questioning legitimacy. Why your words, your pronouns, and your chosen number, even when your LGBTQA plus friend isn't around. Because this is where allyship moves from this passive support to active integrity. I'll see you there. You ever feel like the world wasn't built for you? Like you were born queer, and then you had to spend your whole life recovering from what that meant to everybody else? Yeah, me too. But I turned that pain into purpose. My name is Christiano Green. I'm a queer transformation coach and the founder of QueerQuest, the world's first personal development platform created exclusively for LGBTQA plus people. We don't just talk about healing or growth and self love, we live it, we teach it, we queer the hell out of it. I built QueerQuest because I wanted every queer person to have access to the tools, to the teachers, and to the community that helped save my life. And I'm talking emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of it. This isn't just a platform, it's a revolution of self-return. A sacred space where your queerness is celebrated, your truth is seen, and your excellence is activated. So if you're ready to grow, to heal, and to rise as the queer badass that you were born to be, come join us. Your quest begins now. Welcome back, love. In part one, we set the foundation. In part two, we talked about the radical power of listening without making it about you. Now, let's get into something that seems simple, but in practice can make or break trust. Respecting your LGBTQIA plus friends' identity without questioning its legitimacy. Why does this matter more than you think? For many queer people, every new space is a roll of the dice. Will my pronouns be respected? Will my partner's name be acknowledged? Will people treat my gender and sexuality like a real part of me or like a debate topic? Or will it be ignored altogether? It's exhausting. And if a friend, someone who's supposed to be safe, slips into, well, but territory, it cuts deeper than a stranger ever could. Here are some of the subtle ways that people undermine identity. You might think that you'd never question a queer friend's legitimacy, but sometimes it's less obvious than outright denial. It can sound like, but you don't look non-binary. Or it could be something like, you've only dated women, so are you sure you're bi? Or it could be, is this just a phase? Or, I just don't understand why they, them pronouns are necessary. Even when meant as curiosity, these phrases translate to, your identity is on trial. I don't fully support you. And that's not friendship, it's actually gatekeeping. So how can you show respect and put that into practice? So use our pronouns, their pronouns, on name consistently, even when they're not around. This isn't about performative allyship. It's about normalizing who they are in every space. Correct others who misgender or dead name them. Even a quick, they go by Alex now, and they use they, them pronouns, can shift a room's tone. Avoid qualifying statements. No, I mean, I support them, but. That but, it negates and erases the support that came before it. Educate yourself on the spectrum of identities so you don't accidentally fall into stereotypes or false assumptions. Why this goes beyond the room that you're in. Allyship isn't just about how you treat your queer friends to their faces, it's how you talk about them when they're not there. When you respect them, you respect their identity, you respect it in absence, right? This is what happens, and you reinforce that they don't have to police their own existence. Model respect for others who may not understand it. Send the message that you are valid everywhere, always. And trust me, when they find out you've been doing them, because people always find out, their trust in you will only deepen in ways you can't fake. This is integrity work. Because the truth is, you're not just supporting a friend, you're helping shift the culture around them. And that's what authentic allyship does. It changes the air in the room, whether they're in it or not. So in this final part, we're going to bring this conversation home. We'll talk about showing up in tangible ways, educating yourself without making them your teacher, and standing up when it's uncomfortable. Because the best kind of allyship isn't quiet solidarity, it's consistent, visible, and unapologetic. I'll see you there. You've survived closets, shame, rejection, silence, perfectionism, burnout, and heartbreak. But survival was never the end goal. It's time for your queer comeback. I'm Christiano Green, queer transformation coach and the creator of The Queer Comeback, a free webinar for LGBTQIA plus souls ready to heal, ready to rise, and ready to reclaim who the F they are. This isn't self-help, it's queer soul revival. Inside this masterclass, I'll share the 3 things every queer person needs to know to finally break free from society's judgments, awaken their queer spirit, and live unapologetically, spiritually, emotionally, and fully embodied. You weren't born to shrink. You were born to come back louder, softer, fiercer, wiser, queerer than ever. This is your invitation to come home to yourself. Join the Queer Comeback free, live, transformational, because your next chapter doesn't start with shame, it starts with you. Sign up now, link in bio. Welcome back, love. We've covered the foundations of authentic support, the art of listening without centering yourself, and the importance of respecting identity without question. Now, let's bring it home, because allyship isn't just about how you feel about your LGBTQIA plus friends, it's about how you show up for them. Show up in tangible ways. Support is love in action. It's not enough to think of yourself as an ally, you have to be one in the ways that count. This could look like going with them to Pride, even if it's not your scene. Buying from queer-owned businesses that they care about. Supporting their creative work, activism, or fundraising. Simply being there for major life events, whether it's weddings or medical transitions, whatever it is, support them. These things may seem small to you, but they really communicate one massive truth. You matter to me, and I'm willing to stand beside you. Educate yourself. Don't make them your teacher. Your LGBTQA plus friends have probably spent years, maybe decades, explaining themselves to others. That emotional labor is heavy. One of the best ways to support them, seek out your own learning. Read queer books. Follow queer creators. Listen to podcasts. This one's a great start. Learn about intersectionality, because a white gay man's experience is not the same as a black trans woman's, or a disabled non-binary person, or a, Middle Eastern lesbian woman. Whatever it is, it's a different experience, vastly different. When you come to your queer friends already informed, your conversations can go deeper because they're not starting at square one every time. Stand up when it's uncomfortable. Here's where allyship really gets tested. Will you speak up when they're not in the room? When a coworker makes a joke that isn't funny? When a family member says something ignorant at dinner? When a friend misgenders someone? If your first instinct is to stay quiet, to avoid conflict, I do get it. But silence doesn't feel neutral to us. It feels like abandonment. You don't have to deliver a TED talk on queer rights in that moment. Even a simple, hey, that's not okay, fits the atmosphere. It lets people know you notice, you care, and you won't stand by while harm happens. Let's look at consistency over performance, because this might be the most important point in the entire show today. Authentic allyship is not seasonal. It's not rainbow flags in June and radio silence in July. It's not posting a hashtag one day and ignoring slurs the next. It's how you live every month, every interaction, every room that you walk into. Because when your allyship is conditional, your queer friends notice. And when it's consistent, they relax. They know they can lean on you without wondering if the ground will shift. Ask what support looks like for them. No matter how much you care, you can't guess your way to perfect support. Your LGBTQA plus friends are the experts on their own needs. How can I be there for you right now? Or is there anything you'd like me to do differently? Or what's most helpful for you in situations like this? And then listen to the answer without defensiveness. Your willingness to adapt is part of support. there's some legacy that you can leave with your support. I want to leave you with this. Every time that you show up authentically for your LGBTQIA plus friends, you're doing more than helping one person. You're helping rewrite a cultural script. You're making queer lives safer, freer, and more celebrated. And here's the beautiful twist. When you love someone fully as they are, without hesitation or condition, you don't just change their life, you change yours too. So to my LGBTQIA plus family listening, send this episode to someone you wish understood you better. And to my allies listening, let this be your roadmap, not to perfection, to presence, to consistency, and to courage. Because supporting your queer friends authentically isn't about being flawless. It's about showing up over and over and over with love and integrity. And for those of you who need additional resources, check out the resource tab below for my free queer healing guide, for my free queer comeback webinar, or to go so much deeper, check out QueerQuest Pro, where the real healing work happens. I'll see you in the next episode, dears. Until then, keep becoming, keep belonging, and keep being unapologetically you. And always remember, you've got this, I've got you. Bye for now.